we can move on to this, which is the Ardbeg Supernova. This is the committee release of 2015. I'll say something controversial. I don't think this is as good as the previous Supernova they released in 2012, was it? I can't recall.
How dare you?
I know, but this is good. This is good, but the 2012 was just like...
Now, Ardbeg is currently my favorite, like, everyday drinking whiskey. That is my favorite right now. It's currently the thing that I like, you know.
I think I've told you this before. The Whiskey Society Ugadal is the #1 thing that we've had on the bar. It's just always a popular go-to. Great price performance.
Yeah,
great.
Stuff.
We did actually do an Ardbeg Day celebration on one of the nights, and we put up basically 10 bottles of whiskey on the bar, and it's normally a random selection based on what stock we have. It's chosen by a computer program. But that evening we put 10 bottles of Ugadal on the bar. And we have 2 spares that come up for any that gets emptied, and they were also Ugadal.
People were pulling people's legs all night going like, oh no, try number 4. Number 4 is way better than 3. All the same batch.
All right. Another Pete and Meeting class.
Well, here I've got the Brook Laddie glass for my Ardbeg.
I remember the very first time I tasted Supernova. It was Alex Gurovich, who now resides down in New Zealand. He was part of the original. He was our treasurer at the Whisky Society, and Alex, I think, was the first to bring in the Supernova, the original one, and it was like, what the fuck is going on?
That is special. I really like that. That is some special stuff. I mean, I right now I'm really into Ardbeg, and this is just like Ardbeg times 100. You know,
such a great expression.
Oh wow!
I get hay in the nose.
I'm actually getting a lot of the barley through it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's like being in the room where they're, doing their monkey shoulder moment.
The molting floor, yeah.
I'm just getting a lot of the campfire. Just like I feel like I'm like with a bunch of friends standing around more of a bonfire. Like we're hanging out at like
There's wet bales of hay around it that you're sitting on. That's what I get.
I'm just getting a real strong sense of that molten floor.
Yeah, okay, the molten floor's in there.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And now,
compared to the subtlety of I mean, this is still subtle. This is not Ardbeg usual kind of like just grab your nose.
Yeah, this is not slapping your face around.
But compared to the black art, this is much more nose forward.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely like if I was going to build a house in this would be a farm house.
Mm-hmm.
With like a lot of really healthy people hanging out outside at night.
Who do all the work on the farm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, there's like a campfire or a bonfire, and they're all hanging out, drinking, and singing, and just having a really good time. That's, Wow. All right.
Oh boy. Okay, going in.
Oh. It's that sparkle at the back here and the roof of the mouth.
But wow, you get that not quite iodine kind of peat in the first approach to the mouth.
It does have like flavors that I would not like describe these as flavors that you would think of as delicious, but in this they are delicious. But it's like like iodine and like the chemically sort of I don't know but it just works.
And there's a sort of grassy note to it as well. I think it's obviously whatever peat they're using in whatever area that they're pulling that peat from. There's definitely an earthy kind of planty kind of thing going on, and I'm getting a sort of nutty kind of aspect to it as well. And I can't even identify. I'm terrible at pulling out individual flavors, but there's something nutty about it, and I couldn't tell you what kind of nut.
You would need to crack this nut. It's almost like not acorn, but
like a walnut or
a walnut maybe.
Yeah, more like a walnut. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's not. There's something.
It's like a roasted walnut to me, or a pecan.
Yeah, almost
well.
on the wood end of nuttiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, it does sound. That's the other thing, is that there's a smell of like this is an old like walnut dresser that's been finished and is like sitting somewhere. Like you open the drawer and that's the same sort of, you know. Oh, just the sense of like an old, really well-crafted, ancient, antique piece of furniture. That's my takeaway. It's good.
Yeah, it's got this vibrancy as well. It's like the whole mouth is tingling.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those ones that, I mean, generally speaking, you should be holding a whiskey around your gob, and moving it around and keeping it in there as long as possible. But this is one that actually you have to remind people, keep going with this, because the more you leave it around, the more it seems to sort of.
And it's challenging to like, you have to commit to keeping it in your mouth, because there's a burn to it. There's a 55. Burn. Yeah.
Ooh. It's right up here. This is one of the brilliant things about whiskey as well. It touches parts of you that you don't even know existed. I remember one of your guys, there's a guy who runs the rum club at Greenworks, Topher. And Topher actually wasn't particularly into whiskey, and he just came along to support because, you know, and we tried to support him and his club and stuff. And then he started getting into it, and he had this Kalila, it's like a 6-year-old Kalila or something like that, and he says, I can feel it in the back of my eyes. And I went, You've arrived, my young Padawan.
So wait, I just want to say, there's a rum club at, there's also a rum club? Why would you have a rum club?
There used to be a tequila club as well that happened at 4 o'clock before whiskey.
Now I've had some sipping tequila, and I can see the point of that. Like, I don't know. I guess there's probably the same thing with rum, but for me, rum is something.
It woke me up to a whole world that I didn't know existed with rum, and some of the stuff that he's had is quite spectacular.
I will be a counterpoint to that. Some is spectacular. There's some stuff which just reinforces my opinion of rum.
Well, most of it's kind of like rubbish. I mean, like Bacardi and all that is kind of like, oh, give me a break, you know what I mean?
Why are you not mixing this with coconut milk and like pineapples? I don't understand.
He does do all that business, you know. But some of the higher end stuff that he's brought in, oh man, the Clement that he had, cask strength Clement. The stuff that Lost Spirits are doing.
Lost Spirits is doing pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, they do it Navy style rum, and just, I mean, powerful, but man.
I'd be willing to try them, I guess, if they were put in front of me.
You'd be okay.
I would try. I would give them the benefit of the doubt. I do love that rum has a club, but whiskey has a society. I think that is as it should be.
We remind them of that. We're a society. You're a club. Don't get out your station, pal. All right.
Oh.
He also has the same Topher has the same T-shirt as me. I'll show you my T-shirt. he normally wears that when he's doing his rum club. But that's I don't know what you say about this. This is Supernova commercial. I guess 2015.
Yeah,
it's just.
I was excited when I saw it, and because I love Ardbeg, and it's everything. Yeah. It lives entirely up to my expectations, which were pretty high. So
it's got that.
Have you been over to Scotland, Joseph?
What's that?
Have you been over to Scotland?
I have. Yeah, I have not toured any distilleries, but I have been to the Scotch Whisky Society. I mostly go. I do an event called Dungeons and Dragons in a Castle,
Oh, okay.
I'm
Cool.
one of the dungeon masters where people pay to basically stay in a castle for, you know, a weekend or a few days and play Dungeons and Dragons.
I could deal with all of that except the game, you know.
Have you played Dungeons and Dragons?
I remember going to parties where they were playing it, and I'd left the parties quite quickly. Sorry.
Well, you need to open your mind, Stuart.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Right. I'll be in the kitchen with the booze. You can be in the front room with your Dungeons and Dragons.
All right.
Buddies.
Okay. If you want to drink my scotch, you're gonna have to sit down at my game table. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm willing to do anything to get a good whiskey in my hands.
Sacrifices must be made. Yeah.
Hey, if I'm willing to drink high-end rum, I mean, I think you should, you know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know who's winning out of that. Yes, I do.
We're all winning. All of us are winning.
But no, honest to goodness, if you make a point to get yourself to Ardbeg, it is such a beautiful, just the surrounding landscape and the people there, just absolutely.
Just wonderful.
I mean, all through Islay, every single distillery we went to.
No, Isla's those are all my favorite scotches are from Islay. And I started on Lafroig. That was what got me going for me. Yep. So yeah.
I think it was in terms of peated whiskies. I think it was the Lag 16 that.
Yeah, Lag 16 was mine too.
Because my brother was into Lag 16, and that's what I tasted it through him, and I went, "Oh, hang on." Interestingly enough, there used to be a bar in Burbank when I arrived here in 1996. This is kind of funny. So I used to walk everywhere, and everybody would kind of look at me as though I don't know, who's that strange guy walking everywhere, you know?
No one walks in LA.
20-minute walk, and I'm thinking, no problem. And I used to walk through a neighbourhood that didn't have any, as you call them, sidewalks here, and we call them pavements. So there was no sidewalks. I'm walking through people's lawns on my way to work. And I was getting to the point where my wife hadn't arrived yet, and this was January. She came through in April. So every night I would, on the way back, the halfway point, there was a bar that I would go in and have my dinner. Dalt's Bar. And it was a restaurant. DALTS, Dalt's Bar, and restaurant. And so I used to go in there, and I noticed what they had on the shelf was your average kind of Glenlivet fare, and I'm like, so I got very friendly with the people there, and I was saying, you know, as much as I like the 12-year-old Glenlivet, can you up your game a bit here and kind of provide a wee bit more variety? Oh yeah, sure. What do you want? So I got them to get in the 12-year-old Balvenie Doublewood and the 16 Lag, and they put that behind the bar, and it was super popular. But the funny thing is they didn't know what, they assigned a button on their till point, and they didn't know what to call it, so they just called it Stuart. Every time a whiskey was sold, my name would pop up on the till. And I'm like going, I fucking love Ellie. I love it. I would never get this treatment back in the UK. Not a mission.
You immediately put your mark upon the city. You're like, I have changed this city. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Appearing every time everybody had a whiskey. I'm like going, yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Well, I do plan on, when D&D in a Castle comes back in 21, hopefully I plan on taking a tour the next time we head over there. I do want to.
As an Ardbeg fan, it's such a beautiful distillery, and the people there were just so gorgeous. And hopefully the wee Ouija, Emma, done the tour for us. Hopefully she was pregnant at the time, and hopefully she's back working again when you go there, because she's adorable. And super friendly, and just a great guide, you know.
And really knowledgeable about it all too. Yeah, so that's
absolutely. Yep. I'm going for the water, I'm looking forward before the next water.
Good thinking, because it's.
What are we doing? Are you going back to the bank?
He's just going back to some water right now.
Yeah, I'm just cleansing the palate. New glass.
Because I think the Bowmore is going to be a little more subtle than what we just had.
Okay.
Okay.